What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving at least one of your goals today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Honda CR-V Sport Hybrid All-Wheel Drive. Huge thank you to Karl over here at Safford Honda of Arlington, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular CR-V or any Honda product, I'll be sure to have Karl's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Honda CR-V Sport Hybrid All-Wheel Drive, and this particular one has been painted in crystal black pearl. One of the first things I wanted to say for this video, or in this video, is that for 2024 there now is the Sport Hybrid, the Sport L, and the Sport Touring Hybrid. Basically, the Sport L bridges the gap between the Sport Hybrid like we have here today and the Sport Touring. Reason being, the Sport L gives you a few more amenities that this Sport Hybrid does not give you. So it makes it a little bit nicer. You get a little bit of a bigger infotainment screen. I also believe you get leather seats as well as a couple other niceties. But other than that, we're going to get back into the Sport Hybrid like we again have here today. So as standard with the Sport Hybrid, you get LED headlights as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. You also get a gloss black trim piece that separates the daytime running lights from your headlights. So you can see this piece right here is a gloss black trim piece, and that gloss black trim piece leads nicely into your gloss black sport style front grille. You also get gloss black trim at the top and the bottom of your grille, so right here and right there, and then that top trim again leads nicely into the trim that separates your daytime running lights from your headlights. And then, as you can tell, obviously you have your Honda logo located at the center of that grille. And then coming down just a little bit, I'm going to take a step back. You also get a satin black lower grille as well as some gloss black trim for your lower outer grills. So this piece right here is gloss black, that piece right there is also gloss black, and then you also get some gray trim at the bottom of your front bumper, so you can see that contrast between that satin black and that gloss black with that gray trim piece all the way at the bottom of your front bumper. And then if you were wondering about the ground clearance, you get 8.2 inches of ground clearance when you opt for all-wheel drive. Front wheel drive gets a little bit less ground clearance than the all-wheel drive variants. Now, working our way down the side, you get these satin black wheel arch moldings as well as that little orange side reflector right there. And then coming down just a little bit, these are the standard wheels that you get with the Sport Hybrid, and they are an 18-inch gloss black wheel, and they are wrapped in 235/60 Bridgestone Ecopia HL 422 tires. If you do not like these wheels, there are two other wheel options that you can choose from, both of which are 18-inch. But honestly, I kind of like the standard wheels better than the two optional wheels, in my personal opinion. Then I'm going to show you the tread pattern on these tires as best that I can there real quick. I do apologize if there is any wind noise in this video. I am trying my best, but it is definitely a little bit of a breezy day, which is honestly kind of nice and refreshing. But working our way into the side view mirrors, you get gloss black mirror caps with integrated turn signals. These side view mirrors are heated manual folding, and you get your blind spot monitoring on the left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the right hand side of your passenger side mirror. Now I want to do a little side profile shot of the Sport Hybrid. There you go, that's what it looks like from the side. I know the GoPro is not going to pick it up all that well, but anyways, you get gloss black roof rails at the top, as you can see right here. I'm zooming in on that. And then you also get some chrome window trim. You get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind, the keyless access function is only on your front two doors. And then all the way at the bottom, you get the satin black door cladding, which again, you get the satin black wheel arch moldings, which lead into your satin black door cladding. You also get these splash guards behind all four of your wheels and tires. Coming up just a little bit, you get a capless filler neck back here. All you got to do, press on that door opens up and reveals your capless filler neck. 87 octane will do you just fine on this vehicle. Then coming up, you get a body color shark fin antenna as well as a body color roof spoiler back here as well. Coming all the way to the back, here's a rear 3/4 angle of the Sport Hybrid. I'll give you a view on this side as well, if there's a little bit better lighting on this side, as you may be able to see. And then as standard, you get LED taillights as well as a rear window defroster and a rear wiper. This one is all-wheel drive, so you get that all-wheel drive badging right there. If you do not like that all-wheel drive badging, it's essentially a sticker. You can take it off with a blade. And then coming back, I'm going to give you a shot of the back end. There you go. And then you get chrome badging back here for your Honda badging, your CRV badging, and your hybrid badging. But what's interesting is that on the right-hand side of your lift gate, you have matte black sport badging. So all the other trim or badges are in chrome. Sport badging is in that matte black. And then underneath your Honda logo, you'll feel a little pad. If you press on that pad and lift up, your lift gate will open it up. This is not a power lift gate, it is a manual lift gate, revealing a 12-volt power outlet over there, grocery bag hook on this side, grocery bag hook on that side, LED light, LED light. Here are your carpeted floor mats that come standard. And then little storage cubby on that side. You get a storage cubby on this side as well. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the trunk area. I could say you could probably, if you're gonna stack them, you could fit 8, maybe 6 to 8 carry-on suitcases back here. Quite a bit of storage space in the back end of the CRV. Again, this is a manual lift gate, so you do have to close the trunk yourself. And then just to the left of that little pad that I depressed is where you will find your backup camera. So obviously vehicle comes standard with a backup camera. And then coming down just a little bit, you get 2 reflectors back here, as well as a satin black rear bumper. You also get a gray rear valance that connects your dual exhaust. So all of that right there is all gray. And then you get that nice little diffuser back there. And if you were wondering about the max tow capacity, you get a 1,000 pound max tow capacity. So really, when it comes to towing, not really all that capable, but you can maybe pull a jet ski, one singular jet ski, but even that might be pushing the limit. But let me know what you think of the 2024 CRV Sport Hybrid in the comments down below. You know, it is a very nice vehicle. However, now with the Sport L trim level now out, I would say maybe that might be the one to get, because again, it's kind of like the in-between between this and the loaded up model. So it's kind of like the sweet spot. But even then, I still think this one's pretty dang nice for the money, and you get everything that you need. You just don't get the additional amenities that you don't necessarily need. Again, let me know what you think of this vehicle in the comments down below. But with that stuff said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2-liter 4-cylinder that works with 2 electric motors. Total output is 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a eCVT for a 0 to 60 time in 7.9 seconds. If you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 40 miles per gallon in the city, 34 miles per gallon on the highway, for 37 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. Now, you know, this isn't the quickest vehicle in the world. However, considering its size, it's a mid-size SUV, I think you get phenomenal fuel economy, and you also get a really darn good looking SUV in my personal opinion. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would just take a second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button. All that stuff looks really good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. So again, I'd really appreciate it. But with that stuff said, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned, you do get keyless access. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across those couple hash marks right there, and now the vehicle is locked. Putting my hand back behind the door handle will unlock the vehicle again to reveal our door panel. Now, one more thing I wanted to mention before we got into that is that you also do get remote start as standard. So to remote start the vehicle, you got to lock it and then press and hold on that button, and it will fire up. And because it's a hybrid, it's on. You can hear it. So, taking a look at the driver's side door panel, you can see all of this is all vinyl wrapped except for this part right here. This is like some satin black plastic. Then you get some textured plastic, satin chrome looking door handle, power side view mirror controls, your unlock and your lock functions. That's going to restrict your passenger window privileges, automatic up and down windows in the front, but you do not get automatic up or down windows in the back. I don't know if this is leather or a leatherette material, but either way, it's a leatherette or leather material right here. And then the Sport gives you orange accent colored stitching throughout the interior. Then you get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of your door panel and a CRV badge just above your speaker. Now, taking a look at the driver's seat, as standard, you get a 10-way power adjustable driver's seat with power lumbar, and you also get heated front seats. And like I mentioned, the Sport gives you orange accent colored stitching, so you get to that orange accent colored stitching on the outsides of your seat. And really, that's the pattern on the seat, and that's kind of about it for that. Now let's step into the interior, and I did remote start it, so it is preconditioning the interior, but to turn the vehicle actually on to get full access into everything, you have to push your foot on the brake and then push to start. And now you have full access into everything. So that's about it for that. Lock the vehicle. That is to turn your traction control system on or off. Coming down to over here, if you flip that down, you get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And basically what I mean by that is you can push the steering wheel away from you, you can bring the steering wheel towards you, and you can bring it up and down as well, basically to make it to your comfortable position for you. But I do want to show you what the turn signal sounds like, so let's take a listen. That is what the turn signal sounds like. Not only is this your turn signal control stock and your high beam control stock, this is also your headlight control stock. So if I flip that all the way up like that, that turns my headlights off. Right now, if I go like that, that puts my headlights in the automatic position. That is parking lights on, and then all the way up is headlights in the always on position. Personally, for me, I like to leave it in automatic because I think the car does a pretty good job at turning the lights on and off when need be. And then coming over here, you have your windshield wiper control stock for your front windshield wipers and your rear wiper back there. Zooming back out, this is what your steering wheel looks like. It is a leather wrapped steering wheel, and you get some orange accent colored stitching on the inside of the steering wheel. You also get steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Left is your downshift paddle, right is your upshift paddle, and just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like on the CR-V. Kind of a funny sounding horn. Not what I was expecting, to be honest. Coming over here, that is to go back on a track. That is to go forward on a track. This is to switch you between your different sources like AM, FM, Bluetooth audio, so on and so forth. And then pushing up like that is to volume up. Pushing down like that is to volume back down. And then clicking on this button right here is to bring you into your home screen on your partially digital gauge cluster. So this area right here is digital, but then you get an analog speedometer. So this scroll knob and that home button are to control the partially digital gauge cluster. And then that is to speak to the vehicle. And then as standard with the Sport Hybrid, you get adaptive cruise control. So here are your adaptive cruise control settings. And then I guess we might as well move into the gauge cluster, shall we? So on the right-hand side, you have your speedometer. Right now, that's the digital speedometer readout. That's letting me know what drive mode I'm in. That is the odometer, and then that is the ambient exterior temperature. Get your fuel gauge down here. You can see that gas pump pointing to this side of the vehicle. That is because you fill the vehicle up with gas on this side of the vehicle. Then down here, that's like some driver assistance stuff. That is the current time. And then where it says EV, that's letting me know that right now the gas powered engine is not on at the moment. And then over here, you can see this green area. So you also have that little arrow thing right there, basically like that, but except it's digital. So when this comes down here, that means that it's capturing the energy when the vehicle is slowing down. So that's basically like your regenerative braking system. And then you can see where it says 0, 25, 50. This is basically how much power you're using. So when you floor the vehicle, you're using 100% power. Does that make sense? So when you're giving it 50% throttle, this is going to be pinned on 50. Or if you're using 25% throttle, basically so on and so forth. I think you get the idea of what I'm talking about. But again, these buttons here control the digital gauge cluster, the digital part of the cluster. So this scroll knob, I can scroll down. You can basically put nothing on there if you wanted to, or you could go through here and you can adjust the brightness of the gauge cluster. You can go into your different settings. So you can go into the vehicle settings, all these different things here. You can see all those different things. And then I'm just gonna go back because I'm not gonna go throughout all that stuff. Then you can go into your gauge display settings. So if you go down, basically you can select what you want to see. So you can deselect that if you wanted to, you can reselect it, or you can deselect or reselect any of those options that you can see are highlighted up top here. And then we're just going to go back. So go back, come down, go back. What the heck? All right. I guess I got to click the home button again. And then you can go in between your different warnings. There are no warnings at the moment. Power flow. basically showing you how much power you're using and how much power the battery has and so on and so forth. Then you can see your range and fuel stuff here if you wanted to see that. Coming down one more, speed and time. That's what that looks like. Then you got your driver attention stuff, all-wheel drive torque distribution, seat belts, maintenance, so on and so forth. I think you guys kind of get the idea of what you can see on that screen. I'm not going to go any more in depth with that because I think you kind of get the idea. But anyways, I'll scroll between. You can go into brightness, you can go into your settings, gauge display, warnings, power flow, range and fuel, speed and time, driver attention, all-wheel drive torque, seat belts, maintenance, etc. You know the idea. You get it. Up top here, all vinyl wrapped, and then moving our way into the infotainment screen. This is a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment screen with wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto. This is a very, very basic infotainment screen. Up top here, it's letting me know I'm connected to Bluetooth, my battery, and the amount of signal my phone has, and then that's the time. This is the media screen, and then volume knob, tuning knob, but then this can also like you can be used to like select stuff or scroll throughout the screen. I'll show you that in a second. Then you have all these physical shortcut buttons on the bottom. So that's to go back on a track, that's to go forward on a track. That will bring you in between your different phone stuff. So bring me into my phone. This is going to bring me into my radio stuff. Get your AM, your FM, your AM and FM, I guess, no XM. And then this is your media stuff, again, my phone. And then that's basically for like your USB stuff. And then coming back over here, you get a back button and a menu button. And like I mentioned, not only can you touch it, you can also scroll throughout this screen with the knob on the right. So you can go in between all these different things here. But really kind of about it for that screen. Coming down a little bit, you get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 over there. You have your hazard button, and then coming down as standard, like I mentioned, you get heated front seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability. Dual zone climate also comes standard. I'll show you what the climate system looks like when it is on. You can see low, and then it also shows you where the air is going, and then you can see temperatures on both sides. Kind of about it for that. That lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. USB-A port, USB-C port, 12-volt power outlet to the right of both of those. Down here, you get a good amount of storage space. You can see iPhone 14 Pro Max fits down in there, no problem. You get this gear shift selector right here. So if you wanted to, there is a like 1 pedal drive mode, but I don't consider it like 1 pedal drive, and neither does Honda. It's kind of like 50% of what a 1 pedal driving system does. So if you go past drive, right now we're in drive, you come all the way down, that is B. So basically that turns on like your 1 pedal driving system. It's basically like 50% of a 1 pedal driving system. So when you let off of the accelerator, it's going to capture the energy, basically giving resistance. You know, it's slowing you down. It's like you hit the brakes. So it's kind of like a 1 pedal driving system. If you've ever experienced a 1 pedal driving system, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, that's what that B mode does. And then you have a few different drive modes here as well. You got normal, sport, econ, and snow. And then this is your hill descent control button. This is your electronic parking brake. If you wanted to disengage it, you have to push your foot on the brake, push down on that, and then that is disengaged. And then this is your brake hold function. So basically, if you're stuck in traffic and you're tired of holding your foot down on your brake by yourself, when you engage that button, the vehicle will hold itself in place with its braking system, again, on its own when that button is depressed. Then you get 2 cup holders. You get a spot you could set, you know, your key fob if you wanted to. A nicely padded armrest. Accent colored stitching. Opening this up, good amount of storage space down in there. I would say about 60% of my forearm fits down in there, so very good amount of storage space in your glove or center console. You get a lockable glove box with a decent amount of storage space. Honestly, not the biggest glove box that I've ever seen, but you can fit what you need to in there. Then you get a taco holder. Just kidding, that's where you would set your sunglasses. Driver gets an LED light, passenger gets an LED light. Here are your door settings. So when you open up the doors, right now, the lights are not gonna turn on. When you have it set to the center, now when I open up the door, the lights will turn on. And then all the way, if you flip that up, then that is basically like your instant dome light on button. And then also as standard with the Sport Hybrid, you get a power moonroof that not only slides, but it also tilts up. This is what it looks like. And then when you open it up, I'll show you how far it opens up. So it goes all the way to there. And then you get basically one of these things. It's basically like a wind deflector. And then when I close that back up, I want to show you the tilting function. So if you wanted to tilt it, you come over here to the button and then you basically just push up on it and it will tilt. So that's what that does there. Closing that back up, that's that. And then moving our way into our visor, you get a vanity mirror with a vanity light, and then this slides forwards and backwards depending on where the sun is shining. OPU panel on the driver's side, OPU panel over there on the passenger side as well. And that kind of about does it for what we got going on here in these front seats. So a couple things I wanted to go over that you get as standard with the Sport Hybrid. You get the 10-way power adjustable driver seat with the power lumbar. You also get the heated front seats, the sunroof, you get adaptive cruise control and a dual zone climate control system, as well as a few other things, obviously. And then also as standard here, a couple highlighted safety features that I thought you might want to be interested or you might be interested in. So basically you get adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, traffic jam assist, and the blind spot monitoring system. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at all the safety stuff you get. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard and the fuel economy stuff, maybe the warranty stuff, but basically I am just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 CR-V Sport Hybrid all-wheel drive is spec'd is $36,175. Let me know what you think of that price in the comments section down below. But I do want to show you what we got going on in these rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So popping out and taking a look at the door panel back here, you can see it looks very similar to what you would find in the front. Let's see how far these rear windows roll down. So that's as far as the rear windows roll down. It's a better view of that. Rolling that back up again, you do not get automatic up or down windows back here. You get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space. You get a nicely padded armrest, not quite as nicely padded as what you get in the front. And then this is what the second row seats look like back here. These seats do fold flat, so I'm gonna unbuckle this so they will fold flat. So folding that down, you can see fold flat. Second row seats, they go all the way down, and then you just lift them back up and they go back into their position. And those seats also do recline. That's the normal position. This is the reclined position. This is what the seats look like themselves. But stepping on into the rear area, starting up top here, you get an OPU panel, a spot you can set your dry cleaning. You also get a dome light back here as well. That's a Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. No driver seat back pocket, but you do get a front passenger seat back pocket right here, just covered by plastic. 2 HVAC vents, 2 USB-C ports down there. I am adjusted behind myself and I am 5'9". I've got plenty of knee room and leg room. Here's another view of my knee room and my leg room. I also have quite a bit of headroom. I'm also in the seat reclined though, so I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit. So again, still plenty of headroom. I think you could be like 6'3" and still be very comfortable back here in these second row seats. But you also get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders, and you also obviously get a nicely padded armrest. One thing though, on this side, you do not get a spot you can set your dry cleaning, whereas on the driver's side, you do get a spot you can set your dry cleaning. But other than that, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these second row seats. You know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the review, where this is one of the smoothest driving EVs that I think I've experienced. It's very, you know, linear feeling when the battery, or excuse me, when the gas powered motor kicks on and like helps with the battery. It's a very seamless transition, whereas, you know, I've been in some Jeep 4xEs and it's not very seamless. You can feel a little bit of a like a grunt almost, whereas in this it's very, very seamless, and I definitely appreciate that. One thing that I like is take a look at the windshield wipers. I know this is a small thing, but you see how it just basically just sprays out of the wipers rather than just spraying everywhere on the windshield. That is a small little touch that I personally appreciate. And I know it doesn't really matter, but I thought some of you may find that interesting. But yeah, very nice driving experience here. You know, I'm just basically showing you what it's like to daily drive one of these. You know, we're just going through town, you know, going through traffic and stuff like that. Very, you know, real world test. And this thing has nice acceleration. Take a listen. you can see the gas powered motor is not always on, and I'm going to put it into B mode, and you can see it instantly starts to slow me down a little bit more. Again, I do not have my foot on the brake, and we're going downhill, but we're slowing down going downhill. So basically watch what happens. Right now I'm back into drive. I'm going to let off the accelerator here. It's going to regenerative brake a little bit, but I'm going to throw it into B, and you can see how that dropped down a little bit more over there on that gauge, the green. Now I'm going to throw it back into drive, and you can see we're starting to go again, put it back into B, and it starts to slow me down again. So basically, when you put it into B instead of drive, it's going to give you a little bit more resistance when you let off the accelerator. I got to sneeze. Excuse me. So you can see right now I'm in B. It's basically, you know, resisting when I'm letting off of the accelerator. It's like a one pedal driving system, but just not quite a one pedal driving system. Listen to the acceleration. You see, like when I'm using like 50% of the throttle, it goes to 50%. See that? That's what I was referring to on the interior part of the video. I personally like to drive in B mode because it's capturing your energy, and it also makes the driving experience a little bit easier because I'm not hitting the brakes until right now. It makes the driving experience just a little bit easier because you don't always have to go from the gas to the brake, from the gas to the brake like you do in a normal gas-powered vehicle. It's kind of like almost like an electric vehicle in the sense that you do kind of had that little bit of resistance when you let off of the accelerator because it's capturing the energy for the battery pack, which I like. You know, again, it makes the driving experience just a little bit easier than it would be if, you know, you're just driving a regular gas-powered vehicle. So again, I'm just letting off of the accelerator, and as you know, begin to drive this vehicle more and more, as you know, maybe you purchase one, I think you'll get really used to, you know, using B mode, and I think you'll rather be in B than drive, just because again, it makes the driving experience just a little bit easier, which is always nice. And then another thing is, every time that I put this thing into reverse, the gas powered motor is never on. It has not been on one time since I put it into reverse, which almost makes me feel like it has a reverse gear, but it's only for the battery and it's not using the gas powered motor. So I'm not 100% sure on that. That's just something that I picked up on as I've, you know, been driving this vehicle. But overall, you know, again, it's not the quickest thing in the world, and I'll experience a little acceleration here when we take a right, but it definitely gets you up where you need to go, and it's got the good amount of power, especially considering the fuel economy. So I am going to floor it now. Not the quickest thing in the world, but it'll get you where you need to go, and it is very, very efficient, which is very important. And I think that is something that a lot of you may find very appealing, is the fuel economy. I believe it gets 40 miles per gallon in the city, which is awesome, and it gets, you know, mid 30s on the highway, again with all-wheel drive, which is great. You know, for an SUV to get 40 miles per gallon in the city, that's definitely a win, especially, you know, in today's day and age now with what gas prices where they are. Very, you know, expensive, at least in this area. You know, it's about, like where I live, I think it's like $3.50 a gallon, whereas in this area it's about, you know, $4 a gallon for regular, which is crazy. This Charger looks awesome, sounds great as well. But yeah, this thing drives really well. Take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at 35 going over bumps. Yeah, it's a nice cruiser, nice daily driver. I wish this guy was not in my lane, otherwise I could have made the turn, but it is what it is. Really good driving vehicle here. No complaints really. I do wish it had a little bit more power, but you know, it is what it is. I think you trade power for what you get in fuel economy, so really it's not that big of a deal. And I think a lot of you, you know, you want the sporty look, but you don't necessarily need the sporty driving experience, but you want the good fuel economy. That's exactly what this vehicle is. Great fuel economy, doesn't necessarily have, you know, exciting power, but, you know, it has enough power to get you around town, to get you on the highway, to pass people and stuff like that. You just might have to give a little bit more throttle than maybe you would expect. But overall, great fuel economy. Can't really complain about any of that. Sound system, it's all right. I think the Sport Touring may give you a Bose sound system. Not 100% sure, but I do know it does give you a better sound system than the sound system found in the Sport Hybrid. And I don't know about the Sport L or what kind of sound system that has, but as soon as this light turns green, we're gonna do a nice little acceleration here to the right. All right, up and going. You can see right now we're just in EV mode, but as soon as I floor it, gas-powered motor is going to kick on. And as soon as I let off, you can feel that resistance in B mode, capturing all that energy that I just spent. And you can see where it says EV down there? I'm not sure if I'm pointing at the right spot for the camera, but basically that means just the battery is powering the vehicle. So right now, gas-powered motor is not on. Now it is back on. But yeah, I like how it lets you know when it is on and when it is not on. So like, I'm assuming when I let off right now, okay, no, it is not. Okay, right now we are back in EV mode because the gas-powered motor does not need to be on. So only when the gas-powered motor needs to be on, that is when it is on. So right now, just, you know, cruising down this hill, it's capturing the energy that it, you know, I'm gaining when I'm going downhill, and it's totally electric. Take a listen. And I let off, we're going downhill again, but you can see it's gonna start bringing me down in speed because I am in B mode, capturing all that energy. So anyways, that's kind of about it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. Again, I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, so I'd appreciate it if you guys would take a second, give it a thumbs up, maybe leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button again. I'd really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.